Have you ever wondered what really separates just a random question from a truly groundbreaking discovery? Well, it's not always some flash of genius. A lot of the time, it's a specific, trainable skill set. And guess what? We've got our hands on the blueprint, an actual university curriculum for research methodology. So today, we're going to break down exactly how a modern researcher is built, step by step.
And that's the big question, right? We all have those moments of curiosity. But how do you actually take that little spark and turn it into something that can stand up to scrutiny, something that genuinely adds to what we all know? Well, this syllabus we're looking at isn't just a list of topics. It's pretty much the architectural plan for a whole new way of thinking.
And this is the heart of it all. Research methodology is the place where that raw curiosity gets shaped into a precision instrument. It's the system that turns what if into here's how we find out. It's really the foundational training for anyone who wants their discoveries to be taken seriously.
So, before we jump into the how, let's talk about the why. What's the point of all this structure? I mean, why not just follow your curiosity wherever it happens to lead? Let's take a look at the core mission. You know, what's really striking here is just how practical these goals are. This isn't about memorizing a bunch of abstract theories. It's about learning how to map out what's already known, create a plan that'll actually work, and then communicate your findings so other people can build on them. And, let's be real, it's also about that last crucial step, convincing someone to actually pay for your work.
Okay, so the mission is clear. Now let's look at the roadmap. This course is laid out as a 5-step journey, and it's designed to take someone from being a complete novice to a competent researcher. Let's walk through each stage. This right here lays out the entire assembly line. You start with the absolute basics. What even is research? Then you learn how to stand on the shoulders of giants by doing literature reviews. After that, you find your own voice through scientific writing and make your evidence pop with data visualization. And the whole thing leads up to the ultimate real-world test, writing a proposal that can actually get funded. And this is the key. Each one of these steps is a building block for the next. You can't really ask for funding if you don't have clear data, and you can't have clear data without a well-designed study. It's a carefully constructed ladder that takes you from just having an idea to creating something tangible. All right, so knowing the roadmap is one thing, but how do you know you're actually getting anywhere? How is mastery even measured? Let's dig into how a course like this tests not just what students know, but how they think.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You can memorize facts all day long, but how do you actually learn to think like a researcher? How can you possibly measure the growth of a critical, analytical mind?
Well, the approach is actually a neat balance of consistency and performance. 50% of the grade is based on the work you do throughout the course, which rewards that day-to-day effort of learning and applying skills. And the other 50%? That's the final exam, testing everything you've learned and how it all fits together.
So, how do they measure that deeper kind of thinking? They use a framework called Bloom's taxonomy. Honestly, you can just think of it as a ladder for your brain. It helps teachers create tests that go way beyond just remembering stuff and actually push students to analyze, evaluate, and even create new ideas themselves. And in this course, the focus is clearly on climbing to the higher rungs of that ladder. Sure, remembering the basics is important, but the real test is whether you can apply that knowledge to totally new problems and justify why your approach is the right one. The goal isn't to create human search engines, it's to develop sharp, critical thinkers. So we've seen the journey, and we've seen the tests along the way. But what about the destination? After all this training, what kind of thinker actually comes out on the other side? What's the final product of this whole intellectual assembly line? It's a question worth asking, for sure. Beyond the piece of paper you get at the end, what's the fundamental change this journey is designed to spark in a person? And here's the big idea. The goal isn't just to make people who can do research, it's to forge individuals who are fundamentally better thinkers, people who can tackle complex problems, think critically about the world, and maybe most importantly, people who have the tools for lifelong learning. Now that's a skill that never goes out of style. In fact, the university itself says that this one course helps develop 5, count 'em 5, core master skills. These are the big picture abilities that really define a modern, effective professional in any field. Let's look at the first batch. This is all about going from just spotting a problem to actually systematically designing and building a solution. It's basically the engine of innovation, being able to analyze a challenge, research the possibilities, and then build something that works from the ground up. And the last 2 skills, these are all about being able to adapt. See, it's not enough to just master the tools we have today.
You have to build the mindset of a lifelong learner, someone who's ready to tackle whatever new technologies and challenges pop up tomorrow.
When you boil it all down, the official outcome sounds pretty simple, but think about what it really means. A graduate doesn't just leave knowing facts about research. They leave understanding its power, its process, and its incredible potential to shape our world. That's a huge difference.
So there you have it, the blueprint for turning everyday curiosity into credible, powerful discovery. It's a clear, methodical process for building a whole new way of thinking. So, the only question left is, with a framework like this, what will you choose to discover?